Welcome to another episode. Today's question is: does loneliness weaken people? I'll repeat. Does loneliness weaken people? Yes, definitely yes. If you are feeling lonely, then you are going to get depressed, and that weakens you mentally and physically. The severe depression causes a lot of not only mental problems, but it affects physically very much and may lead up to suicidal tendencies. But then, how to be alone without lonely? These are two different meanings. Dictionary meaning of loneliness is sadness because one has no company or friends. So it is your emotions when you are sad because you have no one to talk to, no friends, no company. That is loneliness. But alone means on one's own. You are on your own. So there is a vast difference. Loneliness means some insufficiency, but alone means complete. You can be alone, you cannot be lonely. So from J.Krishnamurti, to be human, we'll see some quotes. Loneliness in which is involved, I must be loved, I need to be loved, and I am afraid. I have a sense of emptiness. I have no meaning in life. By your companionship, by my dependence on you, I feel I am becoming whole. So that is a lonely person's thoughts. He feels incomplete. So he wants someone else to complete his personality. So he feels insufficient. So he requires someone else to make it sufficient, complete, to become whole. So that is a lonely person's mental makeup. That's enough. Now, what is the sequence of this dependency? You understand, sir? Psychologically, I am frightened, and to assert that fear, to allay that fear, I must have a belief in something, and that gives me great comfort. Similarly, I depend on you. What are the consequences of this dependency? One feels terribly lonely. The loneliness means isolation, complete non-relationship, no relationship with nature, no relationship with human beings. The mind may have the relationship with the ideas, that is very easy. This loneliness is a form of isolation which the mind has cultivated through ambition, through competition, through the desire for success, through the pursuit of pleasure, and this has brought about a sense of complete isolation and loneliness. Why this isolation and loneliness has come? This is because we wanted to succeed in life. We want to fulfill our ambition, and there is competition. So there is desire. In pursuit of this, we cut off other people. We spend our time on pursuit of pleasure or pursuing our ambition and not in cultivating relationships. We think that is a waste of time. With our mind, energy and the time concentrate fully on success, on fulfilling our ambitions, we are completely out of relationships. So that is how we feel lonely. Relationship out of loneliness leads to conflict, misery and divorce, fight, wrangles, sexual insufficiency. You are sexual, I am not. You know all that ugliness that goes on, or the beauty, or whatever you call it. Out of that loneliness, all the misery comes. When there is no loneliness, when there is complete self-sufficiency, no dependency, and that self-sufficient, not in the ugly sense of sufficient, in the great depth and the beauty of sufficiency of that, in which there is no loneliness, no ambition, that is really love. Therefore, love has a relationship with nature. If you want it, there it is. If you don't want it, it does not matter. That is the beauty of it. So if one is complete, if he is living a whole life, then he is not going to feel lonely. There is no ambition in it. There is no insufficiency in it. There is no loneliness. So again, we will see from Fish in the Sea is Not Thirsty, a book by Osho. From that we will see a few lines. People think just the opposite. People think when you are in love, how can you be alone? They don't make any distinction between two words, loneliness and aloneness. Hence the confusion. When you are in love, you cannot be lonely. That is true. But when you are in love, you are bound to be alone. That is even far truer. Loneliness is a negative state. Loneliness means you are hankering for another. Loneliness means you are dark, dismal, in despair. Loneliness means you are frightened. Loneliness means you are feeling left behind. Loneliness means no one needs you. It hurts. Loneliness is like a wound. Aloneness is like a flower. I know your dictionaries and aloneness are synonyms. They are not. They are totally different phenomena. Loneliness is a wound that can turn into a cancer. Many more people die of loneliness than of any other disease. The world is full of lonely people, and because of their loneliness, they go on doing all kinds of stupid things to somehow stuff the wound, that hollowness, that emptiness, that negativity. Lonely person starts eating too much just to feel full. The lonely person starts gathering fat. The lonely person starts taking alcohol or other drugs from soma to LSD because he wants to forget himself. The loneliness is so ugly, so scary, so death-like that no one wants to escape from it. The lonely person sits before his TV, glued to the chair for 4, 5 or even 6 hours. The average American sits 6 hours before TV, just burning his eyes. But what else to do? Where to go? With whom to commune? So when you are feeling alone, to fill that incompleteness, to fill that void, either we binge eat too much, become fatty, or spend our time fully on TV as a companion, or take on to drugs, alcohol. So all these abuses, we think it will fill our time. We won't feel lonely. That will give company. Because to be lonely is like death. Alone is not this. Alone is complete. You are feeling complete. You need not depend on external sources like TV, alcohol, drug, or binge eating. So that is the difference between loneliness and alone. Loneliness is a negative state. To answer the question, yes, it definitely affects your mental and physical health. But when you are complete, you can be alone. You need not depend on another person or other substances to fulfill you. You are complete. So with this we will end this episode. Stay with me for another episode. Subscribe to my channel. Share this video. Thank you.